In a shocking twist of their ongoing feud, Charleston White chose not to respond with his usual fiery words after Lil Woody issued direct threats. This time, he called the police instead of clapping back online or pulling one of his signature antics. Charleston filed a report, leading to Lil Woody's arrest. While some critics claim Charleston acted out of fear, others believe this was his smartest move yet, avoiding a trap that could have cost him his freedom. What really happened? Let's unpack it all in raw, unfiltered detail. It started with a whisper, turned into a viral clip, and exploded into one of the wildest showdowns the streets and internet have seen in months. The moment Lil Woody sent threats toward Charleston White, the hip-hop world paused. The air turned thick. Everyone knew Charleston White wouldn't let that slide. Not after the way he's been known to flame rappers, street dudes, and celebrities without a second thought. But what came next? No one could have predicted. Instead of pulling out a phone, going on a late-night Instagram live, or unleashing his usual chaos in front of Mike, Charleston made one phone call to the police. That's right, Charleston White, the same man who has built his name on speaking recklessly, living dangerously, and saying whatever he pleases no matter the consequences, decided to snitch, and proudly so. He filed a report, submitted evidence, and pushed the law to act. The result? Lil Woody found himself behind bars, slapped with charges tied to the threats he made against Charleston. Now, this ain't your typical beef resolution. In hip-hop, we're used to diss tracks, pull-up challenges, or sometimes, unfortunately, real street confrontations. But Charleston broke the code and made sure everyone knew he did it. Loud and clear, he told his audience, his haters, and his followers, "I ain't go to jail for none of you street fools. I'm calling the police every time." But let's backtrack for a moment. Lil Woody has been floating in controversy ever since those snitching allegations first surfaced, after footage emerged of him allegedly spilling information during a YSL-related interrogation. The streets haven't looked at him the same since. Some wrote him off as a rat. Others said he was set up. But either way, he remained in the mix, trying to claw his way back into respect. So when the tension with Charleston White began bubbling, it wasn't long before it boiled over. The two exchanged shots online for weeks. Charleston, in typical fashion, called Lil Woody a paperwork puppet, dragging his name through the mud while mixing comedy with chaos. Woody, trying to save face, fired back with direct, aggressive threats, talking about what he'd do to Charleston in person, warning him not to step in the same city, and posting videos that left little to interpretation. Everyone expected a fiery return, a verbal nuke, a meltdown on Charleston's part. But instead, he pivoted. According to sources close to Charleston, the threats felt too real. Unlike the usual internet barking, this time it sounded personal, dangerous, and potentially criminal. Charleston had already been involved in multiple confrontations, from pulling weapons on live to near altercations with rappers in malls and event venues. This time, he wasn't trying to be a statistic. He saw the trap. See, this wasn't just about pride. Charleston White may be reckless with his words, but he's always had one thing in mind: freedom. And he's made it clear he's not interested in being a martyr for the streets. He's played the system before, but this time, he leaned into it harder than ever. The arrest of Lil Woody sent shockwaves online. Some fans cheered, saying Woody had it coming. Others called Charleston a coward, a fake, or even a tactical snitch. But Charleston didn't flinch. In fact, he leaned into it with a smile. He did multiple interviews after the arrest, laughing and saying, "Yeah, I called them people. What do you think I was gone to? Catch a case over a rapper who already got one foot in the feds." That line hit hard, because behind the trolling, Charleston was making a real point, one that, like it or not, forced everyone to reconsider what real really means. Is it real to risk your life and freedom over clout? Or is it real to see danger coming and dodge it with strategy? Lil Woody, on the other hand, found himself in a dangerous spiral. Already facing scrutiny for his alleged cooperation in a RICO case, this new arrest only cemented the narrative that he can't stay out of trouble. And the fact that it was Charleston White, one of the most controversial men alive, who got him arrested, that's a stain that might never wash off. People close to Woody say he didn't expect Charleston to actually go through with it. To them, the threats were just rap talk, nothing more than tough posturing. But in today's climate, that kind of talk carries weight. And Charleston knew how to flip it to his advantage. Let's be real. Charleston White might troll like a clown, but behind the scenes, he moves like a chess master. And this move was nothing short of brilliant. He flipped the script. While everyone expected him to feed into the street drama, he elevated himself above it. Ironically, by stooping to a level most street guys would never go. But that's always been Charleston's genius. He doesn't follow the rules of the streets. He rewrites them. And it worked. The media picked it up. The blogs ran wild. Interviews exploded. Charleston's face was everywhere again, trending without even raising his voice. Meanwhile, Woody sat in a cell, trying to process how a man who built his brand on controversy just used the law to outplay him. Some say Charleston is scared, that he's hiding behind the badge. But others are calling it evolution, survival, growth. Let's be honest, Charleston White is no fool. He's seen what happened to other men who got caught up in beef. He knows how quick the game can end. All it takes is one slip-up, one viral clip, one bullet, or one case. And when you got the spotlight like he does, you're always one headline away from destruction. So instead of becoming that headline, he created one on his own terms.